Good morning. Welcome to the Carla Marie and Anthony Show. My name is Anthony.
I'm Carla Marie.
All right. Carla Marie's mic should be working. Now, Carla Marie, I just noticed something.
Yes.
You have a TV behind you, correct?
Yes.
How come there's no Carla Marie and Anthony Show logo on there?
I don't even know if that thing turns on. It's for soap operas only.
Oh, that's it? It only covers soap operas?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
I walked into my parents' house yesterday, and my mom was watching, I think it was General Hospital, and there were a bunch of nurses in their scrubs performing a Broadway song. And I said, what is happening? She's like, it's the General Hospital Ball. It happens every year at this time.
Oh, wow. Well, apparently it's the 60th anniversary of General Hospital.
Oh, the nurses' ball.
Look at that.
Jen and Lisa know about it. You guys, are you 65? What is happening?
I've got to do one thing because I realized the note that tells everyone what we're talking about did not save properly.
Oh.
If you missed it, so while the countdown was going on, so if you weren't with us in the countdown or you're watching on YouTube, we had a ton of technical issues today. We tried to use Guest Star. That didn't work. Once we got Zoom working, and Guest Star is what we use to connect through Twitch. It's like their own Zoom. Once we got Zoom working and got Carla Marie and I connected and got all that fixed, then I got the blue screen of death on the laptop that runs everything. So just bear with us today. It is one of those days. Hello.
I heard my mic is lower than yours, but I just made it a little louder on my end.
I will fix that as well.
I did say that there were, in the chat earlier, I said we had 3 technical difficulties. You forgot the part of where the camera broke also this morning.
Oh, yeah. I had to unplug the whole camera setup and restart it. So It's been a morning. And you know what? We're going to muscle through this. We're going to push through it. Carla Marie, how was your trip back to New Jersey?
It's been great. I slept for 9 hours because I was so exhausted last night that I just went to bed, woke up at 7, did an Orange Theory workout, almost barfed. I don't know why. I literally almost threw up. I had to walk out of the workout at one point. I think it's the antibiotic I'm taking for my stomach. It's just all over. But then I came home, I showered, I made myself some avocado toast with eggs. And it was the first time my dad has ever seen avocado toast.
What did he think?
That Seattle shit, that breakfast you have in Seattle, I was like, Dad, avocado toast is probably the most popular breakfast in America these last few years.
It must have started in California, though. They had to be the first people, right?
Of course. But I'm like, you eat this in New Jersey, too. My mom's like, oh, yeah, my friend eats it every time we do brunch.
How often does your mom do brunch?
I think they do once a month.
Oh, that's nice. And I know people eat it in New Jersey. I'm just saying, where do you think it started?
Definitely California.
It sounds like a Southern California thing.
It's got to be California. Melissa said they have avocado toast at Sandals Resorts.
I sure hope they do. It is very, very good.
I only ate jerk chicken, so I don't know.
Jersey Quinn says you're so glowy today.
It's that New Jersey light.
Yeah.
But because of the tornadoes that are going just ripping through America from Texas all the way up through Cleveland and then New York State, the weather in New Jersey today is going to be 30 degrees warmer than it was yesterday.
Oh, wow.
The humidity. I was sweating at my workout before I did anything. I was literally like this, ew, ew, just grossed out by myself. And I'm like, I don't know how I lived like this forever.
Oh, Vicky says, by the way, in Mexico, they've been eating avocado toast for ages, way before it was the thing here. That does make sense.
Because they're avocados from Mexico.
Usually. Sometimes they can be from California. Sometimes they can be from Australia.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting weather system coming through here today. Also, speaking of weather systems, I've decided that we're going to do an episode of the morning. What is this called? The Carla Marie and Anthony Show?
Yeah.
Where we turn that TV behind you into a map of America with the weather system. I'm going to tell the weather.
Okay. That sounds good.
Every morning, actually.
Weather Marie. Or your name would have to be like Stormy Marie or something.
Well, let's maybe not that one.
Maybe not Stormy as a first name. I don't know. She's famous for non-weather related things. What would your weather name be?
Oh, I did it in that calculator, that climate change calculator. Remember it gave you your new climate change name?
But what's your weather person name?
I know, but it was a weather thing. I think maybe Sunny Marie is cool.
Sunny is good. Vanessa with one S suggested Cloudy Marie since you're in Seattle.
That's no fun.
Because like we know Amy Freeze, who works for actually both the people we know in weather now work for Fox Weather. One was Amy Freeze, the other is Jordan Steele. I don't believe those are their legal names. Jordan Steele is too cool of a name. I think Jordan is his first name.
Yes.
I don't believe Steele.
But
is
isn't
his
there
last
Storm
name.
Fields here?
Yeah. And Storm Fields with weather.
I mean, come on.
What other in the chat? I want to see what weather people you guys have in your areas. Because Jordan Steele was in Austin for a little bit. Amy Freeze, as long as I've known her, has been in New York, but I think she started in Kansas City, maybe.
Well, Jordan Steele he's on the Weather Channel. Like, everyone sees him.
Yeah.
Good new sticker I got today.
The try? Congratulations. Doppler Marie would be good.
Doppler.
Thank you, the radio fan.
I think I like Doppler. But that just, I don't know. Doppler reminds me of, like, a dolphin.
Mr. G got away with just Mr. G. Right? Was he sports?
He was weather.
Man, I've been outside of New York for so long, I don't remember what Mr. G did.
We'll come back because they're all still here. It's all the same people.
Is it really?
And I'm telling you, I'm going to go walk into ABC 7 and be like, can I audition right now to be an anchor?
Was it Kaidi Chung? Is that someone? Did I make that name up? Kaidi.
So.
It's not
Heidi
Katie.
or Heidi?
Not. It's like Katie and Heidi put together. Does anyone know who I'm talking about? Ooh, Stone Grissom used to do News 12 on Long Island.
Ooh, we got it. Thank
What?
you, Scotty.
Connie Chung.
Going to be Misty Murray.
Ooh, Misty Marie is good.
Connie Chung is who you're thinking of.
Is it?
Everyone's
I
saying-
guess
Oh,
Connie.
Katie Chung on Channel 11.
Yeah, she was a local news person in New York and New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we're all thinking of Connie. Okay, that's the person.
There is not anyone under the age of 50 that is an anchor here in New York. Which, listen, that's great. You've had a great long career. I understand. I mean, Elvis, Danielle, they're all over 50. I get it. But there's something weird about it because they were all young at one point. They were all... And they can't read teleprompters anymore.
I mean, I can't read a teleprompter today. Hold on. I'm seeing in the chat there's a Kaidi Tong.
Katie. That's Katie.
Katie? So there's a Katie Tong and a Connie Chung. These are two different people, right? So maybe I was thinking of Katie. I don't know. I need to go back to New Jersey and just flip through the channels. But I think one of the problems is...
Oh, Katie, maybe you were right.
Yeah. I knew there was like a weird... It sounded like Katie, but not really. Either way, we're going to move on from this person who I can't recognize. The interesting thing with local TV, especially in New York, is the reason people stay there for so long is unless you have a family reason to move out, professionally, that's the top of the hill. That's the top of the mountain. So where else are you going to go? It's either New York or LA. You're going to make the most money. You're going to have the most exposure, probably the most job security once you get to a certain level, because you could probably make some demands with your contract. Where else are you going to go?
No, it makes total sense.
Now, if you're in Jacksonville, Florida, you're going to see more of a rotation because those people are going to get jobs in cities that are bigger. If you're in Boise,
even Seattle.
Yeah. Well, in Seattle, I know we lost. There was Claire. I don't remember what her last name was, but she did weather on one of the local channels, and now she's in DC for that same company.
Angela, who's on evening, just left.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the anchor, Jordan Steele, left, obviously, local Seattle to go do the Weather Channel. There is a shift when you're out of the New York or LA, and probably even Philly. I'd say those three. I mean, honestly, radio for the most part is the same unless you live in Seattle, because then it's utter chaos. I was
gonna say the same, and Seattle is kind of similar. Where if you started here, there's a chance you'll go somewhere else if you're not completely anchored to the city.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the same thing where a lot of people get radio jobs in Seattle hoping to go to another city. But Seattle is big enough where if you like living here and you make a decent salary, you don't have to go anywhere else.
Unless they kick you out.
Yeah. That which happens to a lot of people in TV and radio.
Oh, Bill Ritter. It just hit me.
Where's
Bill Ritter, is
from? I know that
he's
name.
ABC7. I love the guy.
Is
His
he
tweets
weather?
are funny. And by funny, I mean it's like watching my dad tweet.
Is he weather?
No, he's an anchor. Him and
Oh,
Liz
oh.
Cho.
You got me. I can't picture him in my head.
Yeah.
But what are you going to do? Moving on, Carla Marie, from the weird conversation we just had about weather people, you sent a bunch of stuff for today's show. So first up, we have Carla Marie's Love is Blind blunder.
Okay. Do you hear that?
I thought that was, that's you.
What?
How come you're not using a mic stand?
Because I would be down here.
Oh, okay.
So, I'll start with explaining what I got to do on Tuesday night.
Okay.
So, Love is Blind is a reality show on Netflix, and this season was filmed, season 4, it was filmed with basically everyone that's from Seattle, and part of the season they actually live in Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
So, obviously, it's very Seattle-centric. So, Netflix got a bunch of local influencers and some from LA together to do like a tour all over the city of Seattle on Tuesday. And they got to like see a lot of the sites, eat at the same places. During lunch, they got to meet a lot of the women from the show. I couldn't be there all day, so I joined in for the evening part, which was a screening of tomorrow, one of the episodes that drops tomorrow.
Okay.
Which was cool because I've seen it before anyone. And then we did dinner and we got to meet some of the guys from the cast. And first of all, we got to see the episode before the cast. The cast doesn't see it until it comes out.
Oh, wow.
So now I'm
I feel
meeting
like
people.
They should know, no?
No, I mean, Katie said she only got it a few times beforehand on Bachelor.
Okay.
But so I was like talking to them like, I know what happens in the next episode and you don't. Like, this is nuts. It's your life. Obviously, they lived it, but they don't know what the edit's going to look like. So anyway, so we're at a place in Capitol Hill called Poquitos, eating. A bunch of us with the influencers are hanging out. And they get there and I'm talking to all of them, all cool dudes. Like, it was so cool. I met Brett. He was so nice. Talked to Marshall a bunch. He only moved here like a year and a half ago. And he was like, I hope to go to a Seahawks game. And I was like, I'm sure you'll get invited to a Seahawks game. Like, you'll be fine.
Let me ask the chat real quick. Who is watching Love is Blind on Netflix? Just write me in the chat if you are. Continue, Carla Marie.
So here, the girls were there for lunch, Tacoma Swifty. And they do that on purpose so that they actually don't do any appearances together during the season because they don't want anyone to be like, oh, are they dating?
Yeah.
Are they not? So anyway. And for those don't watching, I'll explain just a quick background. At this point in the season we're watching, and all of these people are still engaged to someone else. So when you're talking to them, you're almost supposed to treat it as if like they're still engaged, but like maybe you don't know. You don't really ask about their significant others.
Yeah.
One of the girls was, and I was like,
So you're talking about one of the influencers.
yeah, I was
Okay.
getting so panicky. So I moved to another conversation to talk to Paul. Paul is engaged to Micah.
At this
Okay.
point in the show.
Paul is engaged to Micah.
Okay.
So that other girl comes over and starts talking to Paul also and starts asking him questions. And I go to turn to her to be like, Alexi, you can't do that. Like, you know, joking.
So what is she
But
asking?
Are you living alone? Like, are you in love? Are you like things that you're not supposed to ask? But she was
Okay.
just like, whatever. And I turned to her to be like, dude, don't do that. And what came out of my mouth, I went, Micah. And I
Oh.
called her his fiance's name. And she's like, did you just call me Micah? I was like, I'm out of here. I gotta go. I'm leaving this conversation.
So
And
that was the big blunder?
And I was like, I don't want him to think that I did that on purpose because I'm like some snake. But he was so cool because when I introduced myself to him,
Yeah.
I said, it's Carla Marie, like Carla Marie. And he was like, I will never forget your name. And when I posted a photo of him, he like he wrote Carla Marie on it.
That's funny.
Yeah. And he's fun. He's cool.
So this girl who was asking all the inappropriate questions that threw you off, did she look like the person that this guy is engaged to on the show?
She was a blonde. I mean, as much as I look like her, a blonde girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
So not just other than being blonde. Did she have gigantic fake eyelashes?
And no,
I know it sounded like I was going to say something other than eyelashes
I
there,
was
but
like, that's me.
that would have been a different person.
But yeah, I was like, it would be like, I don't know, interviewing Jennifer Aniston and being like, this is my partner, Brad. I mean, Anthony.
What else happened at this at the screening, and you didn't get to meet any of the women, right?
I didn't, but everyone else did.
Because I wonder, I know the last time we talked about the show, I had mentioned how in the 2 episodes that I watched, the women were pretty annoying. Like, their characters were terrible, the way they were edited and the way they were presented. The guys actually seemed pretty good. And the one, there's one guy who actually reminds me of my old college roommate. He's got like either a bald or a very,
Marshall.
tightly shaved head.
Marshall.
Okay. And you got to meet him?
Yeah, he was so nice. As nice as you would expect.
Good.
But the people who did get to meet the women earlier said that they were all awesome and just so normal and so like down to earth. They were like, it was just so weird. I don't know. Maybe the women are getting a bad edit. I don't know.
They might be. And I do hope they're good. And I'll give them the benefit of the doubt because those shows need to create villains. They need to create dramas. So they edit a lot of things. There was one edit that I was able to catch, and it was something along the lines of the guy asked one of the girls a question that should have been like a quick, easy answer. But if the person didn't answer immediately, it would have created more drama. And I'm pretty sure that they just added a bunch of like B-roll scenes between it to make that reaction sound like it took a lot longer than it really did.
I think all of those shows, and like anytime there's a conversation, the camera people are probably like, okay, just stare at each other for a second. And they can put that wherever they want.
Exactly. Yeah, the magic of editing those reality TV shows and scripting a lot of those reality TV shows makes it real weird.
Yeah.
Especially for the people that are trying to just be themselves.
But they're doing the reunion live on Netflix, so with no edits.
That's cool.
Like they did with Chris Rock's show. So if you don't watch it live, it will be edited, but you can watch it. You can tune into Netflix live, like the regular TV.
When are they doing that?
April 16th.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So are you all caught up now with the entire season, Carla Marie?
I'm all caught up plus an episode no one's seen.
That's right.
But I think 2 or 3 drop tomorrow.
Oh, they do multiple episodes at the same time?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So next on the list, though, is DGAF.
Oh. So this actually goes back to that night. I was talking to one of the women who works for Netflix, and I forget what we were talking about, and she was like, yeah, but she DGAF. And I was like, the fuck does
she
DGAF?
DGAF. Like, don't give a...
And I was like, DGAF? What? And then it clicked. Instead of saying, like, she doesn't give a F, or if you type out IDGAF, or I guess at any time you're saying I. And she said DGAF, and I was like, I'm taking that.
Yeah, I've never heard it said like that.
But I've
seen
actually
it
appreciate
typed,
it,
obviously.
because then she wasn't cursing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, then you're not like cursing to a random person you just met.
Yeah, and what was the conversation about?
We're talking. I forget honestly what it was about, but she was referring to someone else, maybe Jennifer Aniston, because we talked a lot about her that night for some reason. And she said, "Yeah, I love how she just doesn't. I just love how she DGAF or something." It made more sense in her sentence than it is mine.
Okay.
But I appreciated that she was like, not gonna curse, but that she's from LA, so
There was something. There was one of the phrases that's like very common now. Oh man,
IRL?
what was it? Not IRL. It was something. Oh man, I'm blanking on it. But I'll give you the background and maybe it'll come to me. So I was helping our friends at Seattle Cocktail Club on Friday and Sunday. I was helping them load stuff into the Carnival of Cocktails event on Sunday. I helped them take stuff out of the trucks, and the moving company that was hired a couple college kids to help with the moves. And I think most of them were sophomores and juniors. Hold on.
No.
Let's get that off the screen. It's all right. We'll take a quick intermission and we'll come back. And I was having a conversation with one of the college kids, and he used I would call a new Gen Z term, if you will. And it was the first time that I had heard someone use it seriously, like in serious conversation, as opposed to making fun of the way that it's used. And I had to
Well-
stop myself from not laughing.
I wish you remembered.
Oh man. This is gonna bother me for a while. It'll come to me eventually. Do you want to take the break now, Carla Marie?
Before we move on to the QVC chokehold, we can do that.
All right. Let me put this on the screen.
Um,
Hold on, Carla Marie. Oh well, no, we could just restart it.
well, I know, but you're staying.
Yes.
I'm
Goodbye.
gonna send.
And we're back.
Hi.
Look at that. We do need some good intermission music. I realize we don't have that. No, we don't need
Would
it.
Jeopardy find us?
We don't need it now. I think Jeopardy, someone would find us if we just used the Jeopardy music.
Hmm.
I'd assume so. I have to imagine they own it. Or someone owns it and sells it to Jeopardy.
I think they own it. They definitely own it.
Do you think we'll ever have another
No.
game show like Jeopardy or Wheel of Fortune?
I mean,
You're buzzing again, Carla Marie.
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire tried.
That's the one I thought was going to make it. I thought that was, and it is still a show, right?
But anytime you switch a host, like think about it. Jeopardy is what it was because of Alex Trebek.
Mm-hmm.
The Wheel of Fortune has been Pat Sajak and Vanna White for 97 years.
Yeah.
Like, what happened with Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? It was Regis, and then it wasn't.
Who took over after Regis? Was it Howie
Meredith-
Mandel?
Meredith Vieira did, but Howie may have also.
What? No. Howie was the briefcase one.
Oh, Deal or No Deal.
Deal or No Deal. That was his hosting gig, right?
Yeah. I can't find the
Yeah,
chat.
and maybe. I mean, I hope. Price is Right. I will give you some credit there, Scotty. Price is Right. I think has maybe not been as big as it was with Bob Barker. Was that his name?
Yep.
But I feel like Drew Carey has done an okay job. I feel like people
Yeah.
still watch it. I mean, I don't.
No, I don't watch any of them. Ellen's Game of Games. I mean,
Yeah, but did people really like get hooked on that, or was it just something that came on a couple times?
I think it. Yeah, I don't know. I can't find the chat. How do you find the chat? It's gone.
What do you mean?
Like I was pulling up the main chat so I can see because I can't see the little one on the screen today,
Mhm.
and I can't find it on desktop.
It's pretty easy. You go to the Twitch
It's not
dash.
there.
Well,
oh,
it wouldn't be in
I
the
know what you're
dashboard
saying.
because you're logged into my account.
No.
Oh, I don't know then. Are we going to sit here until you find it? Carla Marie?
What?
Are we going to sit here until you find it? Are you listening?
Got it.
Oh man, I tell you guys,
Oh
I-
no, that was
I-
just the activity feed.
I need a raise. I need a raise.
All right, you got to talk to me about that.
Family Feud, I think Family Feud has done a good job of going through a couple hosts because I feel like Drew Carey also did Family Feud for a little bit. No,
No, it's Steve Harvey.
I know it's Steve Harvey now, but I feel like I saw an episode at one point in my life that was hosted by Drew Carey. No, maybe I'm
Maybe
just
like
making it
as
up.
like a random. Let's try this
Oh,
for
yeah.
fun.
I am thinking of Louis Anderson,
Oh.
not Jim Carrey
Now you're saying Jim
or
Carrey.
Drew Carey.
You're
Louis-
not the name guy.
No, I'm not the name guy. Also, I'm not really the game show. I love game shows, but I have never had a consistent enough schedule where I always watch a game show. Like
Yeah.
I have friends who watch Jeopardy every night, all the time.
Are they 80?
No, they just love it. Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune. And I guess the bigger
Scotty B loves
question
Wheel of
here
Fortune.
is, why have we not had a game show that's taken over like those? Do we just not give them enough time?
Because I would say the reasoning is I think that our generation, we've replaced game shows with reality TV.
Okay.
We, the Netflixes of the world have all of that have kind of given us that nonsense TV that we can watch. And we, as a teenager, when you kind of get sucked into Real World, Laguna Beach, like whatever it was, you stay on that path. You don't just switch to game shows now because you're 24. You're into this reality TV world. And, there are new game shows on Netflix and stuff like that, but I don't know. Do any of them take off? We were watching that one and we were like, this is taking 47 minutes to explain how this idiot game works.
Which one was that?
The lying one. We have to guess if your opponents are cheating. The cheater one.
Well, I don't know if things will take off. I don't know if game shows will take off in a binge type format. Because I feel like the beauty of Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune and all those is they were different they were new every day, and it became part of your routine. It wasn't something that you binged.
But it is crazy to just think about the idea of sitting on your couch and watching a game.
Yeah.
Like that.
But I think when you go back to before, pre-internet times, right? That was the best way to interact with what was on your TV, was a game show, because you were playing along oftentimes. You were guessing the price on Price is Right. You were
and going to work the next day talking about it.
Yeah. And you could play, like, if you had family members. I remember my Uncle Simon used to come home and Jeopardy was always on. And he had this thing where you would try to guess the answer to Final Jeopardy before they gave you the question. Because if you've watched Jeopardy, you know that they tell you what the category is going to be for Final Jeopardy. Then they go to break. And then they come back and then they ask the question. So his thing was always, you had whoever was watching had to just throw out some answer that had to do with the category. And you hoped you won. And I think I hit one time with George Washington. It was like American political figures or something. I just yelled George Washington, and it ended up being the answer. But I think before we could interact with everything through Twitter and all the ways that we do now, game shows were kind of that interactive experience with the television.
No, that makes sense. That makes total sense. It was like it was unscripted. It was the only unscripted thing. I mean, even if you were watching like skit shows or whatever, they were still scripted to an extent.
Yeah. And you couldn't interact with them either. I think that was the other part. You were sitting there just getting the content. It's one of the reasons I still think there is a place for radio in people's lives. It's because it is still one of the only ways, and Twitch obviously does a very good job of it. That's why we've been able to do this for such a long time. It is a two-way street. This show doesn't exist without the people that watch it, just like Elvis's show wouldn't exist without the people who call in. And it's why those shows, the Bobby's show, Elvis's show, the Breakfast Club, shows where people are still calling in often are the ones that are succeeding.
Yeah.
The shows that are just trying to jam pranks and dating segments down your throat, they're not doing well, because you could find better quality pranks on the internet.
That's true.
People are getting shot for them, but
yeah.
Have you seen that story, Carla Marie?
Yeah, we were listening to it together.
Oh, we were. Where were we listening to it?
You were driving me to the airport.
Oh, so for people who didn't, I think it was in Virginia, maybe. There's a YouTube prankster who goes to the mall. There's a lot of these people on TikTok and on YouTube who go to the mall. They pull pranks on people. They film it, and then they obviously get a bunch of views. Someone was not feeling the joke, wasn't playing around, and shot them. Now, I don't think you should pull out a gun and shoot anyone I don't know what the prank was. I don't think we've even been told that yet.
No.
And maybe the person felt scared and was protecting themselves. I have no idea. But here's the interesting part. I talked about this on the Morning Show podcast. 26 of our 50 states now. Well, in July it'll be 26 because Florida passed the bill. It goes into effect in July. Allow concealed carry without a permit. That means 26 of our states, as long as you are over 18, you can carry a gun.
But
you
need
cannot
a legal. But okay, here's my question:
Yeah.
How this works?
Yeah.
Do you still need a permit for a gun, just not a concealed carry?
No, as long as you pass a background check, you can take the gun that you buy wherever.
Right. Okay.
But
Correct.
yeah, there's still. I know Florida still has a background check. There are some states where I don't know if there's a waiting period or a background check. But what I was getting to was if you can do that in 26 of our states, and most of the other ones still will allow concealed carry with a permit, you can't just be running up on people.
No.
Pranking them, scaring them, whatever, pissing them off, and do that so many times, expect nothing to happen. I don't want to say the kid deserved it by any means, because you should not just grab a gun and shoot somebody that you don't like.
No.
But you test those waters enough, you poke the bear enough, and you're gonna run into one crazy person.
Well, I want to know what this prank was. Like, did
Me
this
too.
person feel threatened? And this person obviously probably didn't know they were being filmed the whole time. So now we'll get to see, or someone will.
Yeah, I guess that there has to be footage somewhere, right?
Yeah.
And then there was another YouTube. I saw this on. Oh man, I forgot what news source posted it, but there's a British YouTuber, and
Miranda
I guess
just brought this up.
And oh, they did?
Yeah.
In the chat? Not
Yeah.
seeing it.
She said she heard about it. Wasn't sure if it was true.
So yeah, I need to investigate this too. But apparently there is a YouTuber who goes to the most dangerous places in the world, and it's like a travel channel that does that. And allegedly, he has been captured by the Taliban because he decided one of the dangerous places he was going to go was Afghanistan.
But who tells you? Who told anybody that he was captured?
Maybe that's just where he went missing. Let's see. I'll Google it right now. YouTuber jailed in by Taliban. Let's see if any legitimate news sources are talking about this. Vice, ABC, The Guardian, Taliban holding 3 British men in detention in Afghanistan. A charity medic, how do you say this? A hotelier?
Hotelier?
I don't think it's French, but it could be. And a danger tourist were reportedly arrested by Taliban secret police in January. And I guess this is just coming out a couple days ago.
But what is it's a hotelier? I'm pretty sure that's how you say that. But what does it even mean? Just a person who owns a hotel. Yeah, it's definitely hotelier.
Hotelier? Oh, it is fake
Well,
French.
it's not hotelier.
I don't know. It's a stupid word. Hotel owner. Why don't we just call him a hotel owner?
This sounds way cooler. We're going to be Twitch showiers. Hostiers.
I'm a hostier.
Sounds like a donut. Like a hostess donut.
I would love a good hostess donut.
Speaking of pronunciation things,
Yes.
I walk in for my workout this morning, and first thing my mom looks at me and says, it's Appalachian. And I was like, what?
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh,
then
is
I
this
was
from the podcast?
And I was like, it's Appalachian. You're wrong. And she's like, but why did I always think that? And I was like, because we were told wrong. Like, you ask anyone who lives in that area, and they're going to tell you it's Appalachian. So I play Google pronunciation for her, and my dad's like, that thing doesn't know.
The internet doesn't know?
And I was like, okay, but like, you're wrong, and I don't know how else to tell you this, but like, you're wrong. So then I believe it was Grace who DM'd me. She said, in My Favorite Murder, they basically say that, because I guess there was a murder that obviously took place there, and it's Appalachian. And they say a way to remember is, if you don't say Appalachian, I will throw an Appalachia. Like the other way.
Okay, so Appalachian.
Yes.
Appalachian. The Appalachian Trail, the
Yeah,
Appalachian
sorry.
Mountains. I'm driving through the Appalachians.
Yes.
And the region is called Appalachia?
Appalachia.
That
Oh,
sounds...
sorry. And that's how you have to say it, or I will throw an apple at you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, there is still discussion as to whether or not you pronounce hotelier or hotelier. But
it's not hotelier. Like, you were like going full American.
I was. I mean, I was born here. I know English wasn't my first language, but I was born here.
Listen, I know you're more like I also did the story about Hawaii on the Morning Show podcast, and I was like, I should say Hawaii, but that one I feel like goes either way.
Mellow FM said, I grew up in PA, and it's always been Appalachian.
I think it goes back to how that tribe pronounced it themselves, like from that area.
I have no idea.
I think that's what it's from.
You know what? However you want to say it, say it.
No.
Go for it. Why not?
Because
YOLO. ID gaff or whatever.
The best way to explain to my parents is we have a street that runs through my town, and we call it Schuyler.
Okay.
Everyone who lives in any of these surrounding towns calls it Schuyler Ave, but it's spelled Schuyler. People not from here.
Wait, say that. Slow down. Say that again.
Schuyler. Putting it in the chat so people can see it.
Oh yeah, I would say it's like schoolier.
Schuler. But I'm like, but we're all like, no, it's Schuyler. We live here, and this is what we say. You listen to us.
Interesting.
So I trust the people who live in the Appalachia area, which is mainly like North Carolina, I believe.
No, they go up to New York.
Well, but like the mountains, yes. But it's like Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, you have the Western Carolinas and then the eastern parts of Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Then the west side of Virginia.
Yeah.
It's pretty big.
Yeah.
There's a lot of places. I think does it go through PA at all? Let's see.
The mountains? I don't know. But when we first learned, we were on our road trip, and our friend Tommy was like, "You guys are saying it wrong," because we used to say Appalachia because,
yeah,
that's what New Jersey taught us. Guys, this is why I highly recommend leaving your hometown.
Yeah, it looks like it goes
at any point.
It starts
just to go anywhere
up in Maine and goes all the way down to it actually starts in Canada, and then goes all the way down to Alabama.
Damn.
Is the furthest, like northeast Alabama.
So is that longer than the
Rockies?
Or the Cascades?
I think, let's see, longest. What a show today. Longest mountain range in the U.S. is the Rockies. Are the largest mountain system, 3,000 miles. Yeah. But they're also including Canada there. So they're going from Western Canada down to New Mexico.
Oh, well, that's, I guess, okay, well, we need in the United States of America, not the Americas.
Well, I don't know who's going to
Well, what do you mean who's
measure
going to?
that.
Somebody who measures it just for America.
The two largest systems in the U.S. are the Rocky Mountains and the Appalachian Mountains.
Appalachian.
I'm going to keep saying it wrong. The second largest mountain range in the U.S. is the St. Elias Mountains. Oh, and that's in Alaska. There you go. Look at all the things we learned today, Carla Marie. And I do, we go back to this a lot. Sometimes you just got to let the person say the word wrong and move on.
No,
now,
nope.
This discussion is different because we were talking about it on the podcast. Your mom brought it up. Totally. But there are times where I want to tell people, like, just move on. That part of the discussion does not matter. We're just going to move on.
No.
Why?
My brain does not let me do that. I was texting Angelo, baby Michael's dad, the other day.
Yeah.
And he said was instead of were, and I was like, Angelo, it's were. He's like, oh, I always get it wrong. I'm like, well, that's why I'm trying to correct you. So
What was the sentence?
I asked him if he was watching Love is Blind because I know he loves The Circle.
Okay.
And I wanted to see if he was watching Love is Blind because I was going to the event. Oh, where is it?
And he typed it?
Yeah. Guys, I'm telling you, New Jersey degaff about grammar. What the heck? Where's my text?
It's a great question.
New Jersey degaff. Okay, Angelo. He said, I don't watch, but I watched Perfect Match, and a lot of people from Love is Blind was on it. And I said, it's were on it.
Yeah. Whatever.
Well, I don't want him teaching my nephew the wrong grammar.
No, but there are ways people speak, and I love the fact that America is big enough, and most countries are big enough where you have different ways to speak depending on what part of the country you're from, and not just an accent. There are phrases and words people use in certain parts of America that they don't use in other parts. There are like, obviously the accent changes from place to place, but the whole idea that there's almost like sub-languages in America, I think is so cool. I don't know why. I've always just been fascinated by it.
No, but sub-languages and grammar are two different things.
Yeah, but sometimes they overlap.
Okay, but no, because my family all says, I could care less.
Yeah. And that's like, something that people across America say incorrectly.
But when I try to explain to them that it's couldn't care less because you literally could not care any less about this stupid thing you're talking about, and they're like, no, but I could care less. And I'm like,
but that's not an insult saying you could care less, because that means you care at least a little bit.
Right.
If you're trying to tell someone that you don't care about what they're saying or what they're doing, why would you tell them that you care about other things less than that thing they're telling you about?
And they get so mad at me. They're like, you think you know everything? I'm like, no, I just know some things that you don't. You also know things that I don't.
It's Vicky's birthday.
There's 2 birthdays. 2 Vickies. There are 2 Vicky birthdays.
Happy birthday, Vickies. Both of you.
That's weird.
Why is that weird?
I don't know.
Because there's 2 people with Vicky and they're both celebrating their birthdays? Now, if they're the same age, it would get weird.
Same hospital? Were they switched at birth?
What if they were switched at birth? Their parents did a bad job.
Jersey Quinn said 2 Vic, 2 Furious.
Have you seen the news story about, I guess, Paul Walker and Tyrese?
Paul Walker's not alive.
I understand that. But while they were filming Too Fast, Too Furious, I guess the stunt double for, was it Eva Mendes? They were both hooking up with her and they didn't know for a while. They were just this like hot stunt double on set, and each of them would like off to the side, like, oh, that girl's so hot, whatever. And then it wasn't until like halfway through shooting that they both realized they were hooking up with the same girl. I mean, good for her. Both very good looking guys.
I guess Paul Walker, was he married?
Oh, I don't know.
Anyway, good for that girl. Also, I think the weirder thing here is that they were hooking up with someone that was supposed to look like their other coworker.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. If you're working with Eva Mendes, who's beautiful, and maybe you don't have a chance with Eva Mendes, then you take literally the next best thing. If she has most of the attributes, I don't know.
Damn, that girl's lucky. One more thing on the list, and then I gotta get out of here. I have a meeting with Happy Box today.
Oh, cool. All right, what's on the list, Carla Marie?
The QVC chokehold.
Okay.
The chokehold that QVC has on the older generation is wild. But I'll tell you what, they're getting us too.
What do you mean?
I think that QVC transcends generations, and they do somehow such a good job at selling products. Like, I understand, like, they're the OG Instagram influencers. Like, go watch QVC. Man, we need to take a page out of their book, because I need to get some You Look Great on there. You Look Great gear, because they sell that stuff like hotcakes.
My cousins have been on QVC. My cousins that own Young Nails, and I remember my cousin saying it is like it is intense. You are there for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
There is a
Beach
lot
waiver,
of
too.
production. It is physically grueling to
Mhm.
be on QVC, to be hosting or selling on there.
So, last night my dad puts it on. And I guess they have like the garlic chopper that you spin. You like pull a little cord, like, you know, a doll where you pull a cord.
Yeah.
It's like that, but you just go poop, poop.
Okay.
And actually it works kind of nice.
It's not like the slap chop? It's like the
No.
pull chop?
Same idea.
Okay.
They were selling, it sounds so stupid when you see it. It's actually genius. It's this, think of it as like a cutting board, but it's not a cutting board. It's like a tray almost that you can put like your Nespresso on or like your KitchenAid on it, and it just easily slides. So, for example, we have our blender under the cabinet. I can't use it when it's under the cabinet, so I have to drag it every time.
Okay.
The KitchenAid as well. This thing was like a nice little thing for a countertop, and it goes shoop, shoop, and it slides so nice. And I was like, all right, well, but that's annoying. You're just going to have these things on your countertop.
Yeah.
But if you're older maybe and you don't want to be like pulling something as heavy as a KitchenAid, because that thing is like 80 pounds,
Okay.
it's nice.
Can you see it? Like, or does it fit right under the machine?
No, they came in different colors.
Oh, okay.
Like, yeah. It was actually very nice. Then they went to their next item, which was cupcake trays that you could use to microwave cupcakes in 2.5 minutes.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Was it like silicone?
No, I think they were plastic. BPA free though.
Okay, that's good.
They made sure to tell you that. And yeah, I watched this guy cook cupcakes in the microwave 2.5 minutes.
Like real cupcake batter, all that, and just right in the microwave?
Yeah.
That's actually pretty cool.
I mean, they almost had me. And like 3 easy payments of like $12. And he was like, oh my God, we just sold 200 and there's 500 people on hold. And I was like,
that's the allure of QVC. That's what they do so well is, hey, once this is gone, it's gone for good. That's it. And because they put people on the phone, because they have testimonials, they have the owner of the company usually there. They do such a good job of packaging it and selling it to America.
yeah. I would love to know how much QVC makes from each product. I can probably ask Beach Waiver.
That's a good question. You should ask her.
I know there are like, when you get a project on QVC, there are like rules, like you're not allowed to give discounts on your product anywhere else for X amount of time, like all these things.
And it makes sense. They want to make sure that they're protecting their brand as well, because when you put your product on QVC, the reason you're doing that is the power of the QVC brand and the QVC audience and the QVC model. Mm-hmm. So they want to make sure that whoever they bring on is contractually obligated to protect their business model.
Well, I also want to be a QVC host. Though I don't know how much time you got to work there.
A lot.
I don't think they make that much money. I was doing the Googles yesterday.
What did you find?
Well, it did say that one host makes $100,000, and I was like, all right.
That is a good living.
That is a good living.
If anyone tells you $100,000 is not good living, they're wrong.
Well, if you live in California, that's like making $30,000.
There was something I saw in Seattle where it said making $100,000 in Seattle is like making $74,000 anywhere else because of the cost of living.
Yeah.
But guess what? No one's having a pity party for you because you're making even $74,000.
No, but they work like 12-hour days on air.
But not every day. They've got to have a stable of hosts, and I'm sure it's not 7 days a week. They can't legally make you do that.
You're sticking with the contract. They made us work 6 days.
What do you mean?
Technically, they made us go to events for free and not be paid.
Yeah, and that was in the contract, but we also weren't working full 8-hour days every day either. So
no, we were working 15.
Sometimes depends.
They film in Florida? That makes sense why that guy was so tan.
I mean, honestly, I think there are probably a lot of good hosts on Twitch that could be good QVC hosts, because what you do here on Twitch is you're doing it live, obviously. You're interacting with an audience. Sometimes you're selling a product, sometimes you're not. Mm-hmm. But you're doing that whole thing. It's unscripted, long form, and live. So
Amazon has, someone just said that Amazon Prime has a scripted show. P4 Perry said Amazon has a scripted show about becoming a QVC host.
that's cool. I gotta
So I
check
would
that
like
out.
to like to watch that. But Amazon does have, if you go to like the fashion side of Amazon, they have lives and videos that they have these like influencers do with products, and they'll be on for like 2 hours. And I'm like, I want to try. Like,
Yeah.
how do I get into this?
Well, wasn't there an app that does that? Was why not? No.
Shop. Oh, I know which one you're talking about, but Shops or Shop was another one.
Chop
that
Shop?
does that. Shop.
Oh, just the word shop twice.
Yeah.
That's one app. It's called Shop, and they do like QVC stuff.
Yeah. But they go to Shop. And they go to the store, like it'll be like a designer though. Super expensive designer, and they'll do things from there.
I mean, it's a good idea. Oh, we're running out of time. Again, let me turn that off there. Carla Marie's got to get out of here to go to a meeting. I am also going to a meeting, Carla Marie, not the only special one. Just so you know, I have 2 meetings today. Why are you
Where are
looking
you
at me like
going?
that? So I'm actually going to go grab coffee and tea with my friend Mitch, who you've met. You've actually had him on your podcast.
Oh,
He asked if I was free to grab some coffee, so I just said yes. And then later today, this is exciting for anyone who listens to the Morning Show podcast. I am having a Zoom call with our friend Jason, who does all the production for the Morning Show podcast, and we are going to start planning the next round of production to make the podcast sound a little
I'm
different.
excited. That'll
So,
be cool.
Yep.
Tell Mitch I'm going to be hitting him up about my, when I get my certified personal trainer thing. Maybe I can go work for him.
Well, they do physical therapy stuff, I think.
But he's a trainer. Also, he trained me. I know this.
Oh, okay, sure. I'll let him know.
And he used to work at that other place, the 8 or something.
Studio 3, I think is what it was called. I don't know where you came up with the 8. Oh, because there's the 6. That's a yoga studio here in Seattle. There was Studio 3. I think it's still open. So you just made up a different number. There's also like 360 Fitness or something. There's
What
a
is
lot
it with the numbers?
There's a 36 or a 38. And I think the idea was that all the workouts are that time, whatever it is.
Well, Anthony and I are going to invent our own workout app. He doesn't know this yet, but I've been planning it in my head for a long time.
Okay. I've had an idea for one. I can't. It's a really good idea, so I don't want to talk about it because I know someone's going to steal it.
Okay. And I think that's Shannon that wants to know any new merch. It's on the list of things to discuss.
When Carla Marie's back in Jersey, that's what we have to sit down and iron out.
I am in Jersey.
When you're back from Jersey, I said.
No, you didn't.
I thought I did.
You said in Jersey.
Anyway, thank you guys very much for hanging out with us. Sorry about the technical difficulties. Sorry about Carla Marie, just in general.
You know what? I degaff.
We will see you on Monday. Don't forget, there is a new episode of the Morning Show podcast that is available right now, and it will be available again tomorrow. New episode, Monday through Friday. It loads at 2 a.m. on the West Coast, 5 a.m. on the East Coast. Carla Marie, any last words?
Happy Easter.
Oh, yeah.
And a happy Passover.
I mean, right now you've got all three. You have, it's Holy Week, obviously, for Christians. If you're Orthodox, Palm Sunday is this Sunday. It is Passover. That started 2 days ago, I believe. And we are in the middle of Ramadan as well. So all three major.
So nobody's working.
Guess not.
Yeah. I love it.
Thank you for hanging out with
everyone.
us. We will see you on Monday. Peace.